My name is Reverend Samuel Abiodun Ajayi. By the grace of God, I am the coordinator of To Omo Re Center for Special Empowerment. At the same time, I am the one facilitating this process. As a radio presenter, speaking on television, advising and encouraging and counseling the youth on how to live a successful life. I'm also into vocational training for children with disabilities because I believe there is ability in disability, and that is why I call children with disabilities specially able people, because I know there are some areas which they are very good at, which nobody will even think about. How do we discover this until we are able to develop them? And also, I also counsel homes. God has used me to help many homes. At the same time, I've been an encouragement to many young adults on why they meet some of the potholes in lives and how to escape those potholes. To Omo Re Center for Empowerment, Special Empowerment. Our goal is to respond to the educational training and empowerment needs of the marginalized children and young adults with disability. The problem we have is the moment somebody has one disability or the other, they now see him or her as a less human, and some of them are even abandoned, some of them are locked up. So that was what informed us to start this empowerment center, that let these children come out, let us discover whom they are, let us discover their talents, let us discover how they can also be useful in life. And at the same time, we have a systematic and sustainable development for these physically challenged children through formal and informal training. Also, we also create enabling environment where people with disabilities are developed holistically, so that the hope can be restored, so that the marginalized indigent sections of Nigeria will know that there is hope. At the same time, we also provide habitation facilities for totally neglected and outcast children and young adults with disabilities. You will not be surprised to see some parents bringing their children to our center and abandon them for 2-3 years. They never ask for them, and these children, they have no place to go. We have some that are orphans, we have some that are neglected, and these ones are in our custody. We take care of them, and we also render relief services and poverty alleviation program for the indigent and less privileged in the society. We also build the capacity of the less privileged by empowering them with working tools and seed money to establish themselves. By this, they become self-reliant and they take charge of their destiny. Yes, as I've said earlier, we have the outcast and neglected children that are as a result of their disability. Their parents, their relations, they see them as a burden, and they are looking for where to abandon them. So we take care of them in our hostel. Children and young adults that with disabilities that people think they are less human, we bring them into our hostel and we train them on vocational trainings. We also have orphans with disability. These have no parents and they have been abandoned. These are also in our hostel facilities. At the same time, we have people with cerebral palsy, children with cerebral palsy and young adults that the society have abandoned, thinking their future is hopeless. God is helping us to give them hope here. Also, we have young adults termed the disabled that are being trained in vocations that is applicable to their needs. By the grace of God, I want to raise responsible, self-reliant, and godly children and young adults who can take charge of their destiny and their disability notwithstanding. One of the major challenges is mobility, because some of these children, they want to come. It's not possible for them to be here, and they cannot ride bike because of their instability. So the small vehicle we have is not enough to be able to bring them all here, and as a result, some of the children that are already in our center, we will no longer access, and we do no longer have access to them, and they are no longer coming as a result of inability to get a vehicle to convey them to this center. Some of them are back into the streets. When we encourage the parents to bring them here, they feel it is not their responsibility, and that is why when we have mobility, we'll be able to go and bring them and take them back on daily basis. Again, we also need professionals who are well versed in the area of disability. There was a time I registered for the VSOs, and sincerely speaking, they sent one to me from Canada. But I don't know what happened. At Abuja airport, he was taken away to another place. So I need a professional who is well versed in the training of children with disabilities. And I believe that if I have such, there will be a lot of ideas, and there will be a lot of thoughts. I mean, new thoughts that could be injected to help the children in this center. We also need teaching aids. Teaching materials are also needed because we have little or none. We are only struggling. And we also need more classrooms, because you can imagine putting 3 or 4 vocations in the same room. It's not all that easy, because we do not have enough classrooms for their practicals. And we also need collaborations with similar organizations, so that we can work together, we can network, and we can be helpful to one another. Finally, I want to appreciate my staff. If someone says I should not say they receive salary, that what they take is stipends, that I should see them more of a vocational, more of a voluntary workers rather than workers. And I'm praying that God gives me the grace to be able to do more for them. So staff welfare is something that is very, very important to us, because if there's no staff, I cannot do it alone. Thank you very much.